I'm sorry, I have nudes on my phone.
So speaking,
I can't show you my phone.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, Princess Kate, that pregnant naked photo shoot she did back in like 2012 or 2013 was I don't know if it was that one or some other one, had to be one of like not of her, but like some random Mexican bitch. Probably were like, because back then magazines were still being sold like to the masses, and I don't know if it was that photo, huh?
They still are.
Well, I mean, like regular people still getting. I don't know anybody that gets magazines nowadays, but back then,
I have some magazines if you want. Of the Oriental variety.
No, I'm good, man. I'm over that point in my life. But yeah, I think.
What if you never know? One day you might not have any internet. What are you gonna do?
Fuck, I'll just go to Chicago sometimes. But yeah, I saw that picture, and what was the two big magazines back then for pop culture?
People.
Yeah, People. I think it was in People magazine, and basically Queen Elizabeth was like, because obviously she grew up back in the day. She was like throwing a fit that her daughter-in-law was naked with her grandson, or pregnant with her grandson in a photo, and I guess as a kid that resonated with me, and I don't know if it was that picture or this Mexican bitch. She was in a novela. I'll never forget her name. Her name was Araceli Arambula.
I'm not gonna take that.
Araceli Arambula, and she did like it wasn't even like that. It wasn't even that dirty. She just did like a photo shoot with her in like lingerie, and it was, I don't know if it was that or the pregnant Kate that like got me going as a kid. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good way to start the episode. Obviously our intro song hasn't played yet, but you be slacking on that, bro. Like,
because it's like I feel like when he's not here, I don't feel like I can play it. You know?
Allah?
No, Fatal Luck.
Oh yeah, nigga. Man, he don't give a fuck. You didn't even make that clip where we're like calling him out.
I need to make a lot of clips. That's what I was gonna tell you about the other one. About when we were talking about that Chicano podcast or whatever they describe themselves as. Because that video, the actual podcast only had like 900 views.
We could start like a real beef with them.
No, but what I'm saying is that like it kind of black pills me that like the only way like no one actually will, if you're like a smaller podcast, you're not really gonna get outreach because you need like the clips are going to be the thing that carry you, not the actual like how do I say it?
Yeah, the actual podcast. Well, think about it like this: clips are the new version of advertisements, basically.
Yeah, but I felt like the podcast should kind of be advertisement. But now we gotta do extra work and we gotta clip things. But also, what also kind of feels like, it feels like the clips are like the end product, and the podcast is just exists for like riffing, and then it kind of like eventually like they probably were like when they had that thing with White Brazy, they probably thought they hit gold and like, okay, finally that's something to clip. Because for a while like we kind of had like a few things that were definitely clippable, but then I kind of fell off on it. And I feel like because we're doing audio only, it's kind of harder to get clips because we got to do like all the images and everything back to back. So I don't know. But also I kind of feel like could that podcast, I forget what their name is. The clips that they have are like highly edited. So those kind of feel like that they mainly focus more on the clips. And they snazz up all the editing and everything to make the final product, which is the clips, look really presentable.
I stand by this belief, and I'll stand by it until the end of time, that I think...
You don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. But on top of that, I think charisma... If you have charisma, the charisma like beats the fucking editing, because you can have high editing and you talk like this, and you know, like honestly, bro, like my opinion.
Now you can get like a voice, you get a voice changer modulator, and
yeah, if you're fucking gay.
No, you could get like a voice. You know how like people will like change their voice to sound like high pitch or like sound like make their what they're saying sound a little different, or like come out through like a different accent. Yeah,
well, I think that's fucking gay. I think I can produce a charismatic clip on my own by myself without any type of fucking editing, and I think what attracts people.
How's the clip gonna come out? Well, it's just gonna be there, but it's gonna be like who's gonna put all the.
Well, okay, you get what I'm trying to say.
You need to figure out. Honestly, you need to figure out how to do clips too. It's pretty easy. It's all on Instagram.
I figured out.
The ones I've been doing so far, it's all been on Instagram.
I don't agree or disagree with that point, but what I'm trying to say is that
you just need to figure out how. It's not that hard.
I'm pretty sure it's not that hard. You know, I mean, I do heating and
you
air
know how to work
conditioning.
with your hands. Right?
Yeah, I work with my hands. I do heating and air conditioning.
You know how to work with your hands, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that I think if you have something interesting to say and you say it with charisma and you say it with charm, you could bring in a larger crowd versus just saying, "Oh yeah, I think that I really think that we need to come together as a country and really start making better decisions about our economy."
That's what Vivek said.
Fuck lost. Vivek. Yeah, he fucking lost. You know what he should have done?
Oh
my god, I cannot believe that Donald Trump, he wants to go against me. He is number one bullshit guy.
Right then and there. Just like,
and then had fucking that one bitch, what's her name? Nikki Haley suck his toes.
I mean, that could have been an alternate reality. If Trump got... So I forgot who brought it up. Oh, we know who brought it up. But if Trump would have got unalived at that one moment, the race would have been two 7-Eleven owners going band for band. That's what it would have been. Literally band for band from Israeli donors.
Literally.
It would have been like Nikki Haley versus Kamala versus Vivek, something like that. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about gaming. Because the thing is about gaming is that from the both of us, I would say none of us are really gamers, but we do enjoy the little game from here and there. So, let me, Nick, what would be like your little gaming story? What's your little...
My gaming story basically started with... are we actually going to go back and talk about where we started with? Okay. Yeah. So, I started with the PS2 and the Wii. My mom, believe it or not, Aldi's was selling PS2s for a while. Did you know that or no?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Aldi was bro. Aldi was fucking lit back in the day, bro. Like Aldi sells groceries, right? But sometimes they would sell electronics or toys. But here's the thing, my guy, they didn't just sell any toys or electronics. They sold like the brand new PS3 game or the brand new they sold some crazy shit, dude. And yeah, I got my fucking PS2 at Aldi's because they had like a sale. And I remember I used to get I'm going to go a little bit off topic, but I'm going to get back to what we're talking about real quick. Aldi was selling these toys that came with a comic book, right? So basically you would get like a comic book of, I don't know, let's say Heir to the Empire, right? And it would come with like Luke, right? Who's like a mainstream character, and Mara Jade. Or Luke Han Solo and Thrawn from the Thrawn trilogy, right? So, and then it'll come with a comic book, right? From Dark Horse, back when Star Wars comics were actually fucking good. And, yeah, my mom got the PS2 at Aldi. I think it might have cost honestly $60 back then.
It might have been overstocked, because I think that's how Aldi's does this shit. Because probably the PS2 was already pretty...
It could have been overstocked, yeah.
Well, yeah, blown up at the time. And also, mainly, it might have been also because the PS2 is considered like the highest selling console, but it's right now I think it's a battle between like PS2 and the Switch, and whenever the PS or the Switch rises the numbers, magically out of nowhere, Sony finds like PS2 numbers, and then so their number goes up, and they'll be like, oh well, we sell PS2s in Brazil.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, because I think Brazil just got PS3 recently.
Yeah, something like that. Or was it something?
Bro, they had PS2s during the PS4 era, like the late PS4 era.
Yeah.
So, going back to the PS2s, yeah. So it was for me. It was PS2. My first game, I'll never forget. It was Star Wars. I'm sorry. It was Spider-Man Friend or Foe. Now, this was during the... Bro, oh my God. We're going down... Can we go down memory lane? Or
Yes, yeah.
Okay, fuck it. So, okay. This is during the time when PlayStation 3, when they had the font as Spider-Man 3. So, Spider-Man 3 had came out, obviously, if you know anything about Marvel, Spider-Man was and still is owned by PS3, or, I'm sorry, Sony. And... The logo for the PS3 was inspired by the font from Spider-Man. So the game that I got, this is so funny. So it was called Spider-Man Friend or Foe, and it will basically like it had nothing to do with the original. Not the original. Excuse me. It had nothing to do with the
the Raimi movies.
Yeah, with the Raimi movies, but all the characters looked like all the characters look like the Raimi movies. Yeah. So you know like that like highly detailed suit that Spider-Man wore in the Raimi movies?
Yeah, the one with like all like
the silver yeah. That's what he wore. Harry Osborn looked like or the New Goblin. Correct me if I'm wrong, the New Goblin looks nothing like the New Goblin in Spider-Man 3, right?
In the game?
In the comics and in the movies.
The New Goblin.
Yeah.
Well, in when Harry took over the Green Goblin mantle, he literally just wore the same costume.
Oh, okay, so he never even went by the New Goblin, right? He just went by Goblin?
No, he just became he decided that he was the new Green Goblin. At least from what I read in the comics.
Okay.
He never had like a whole different costume and everything.
So where's it gonna go with that? So
that's why the one in the Ultimate one or the current Ultimate one looks more like the Raimi one.
Yeah, so
the Raimi costume design is like OG.
So yeah. So the Raimi costume is what he wore in Spider-Man Friend or Foe. The Doc Ock in that one looked like the Doc Ock in the Raimi movies. And the Green Goblin looked like the Green Goblin in the Raimi movies as well as Venom. And on top of all that, the Sandman looked the same way, if I'm correct. Bro, that fucking Green Goblin looked like a faggot in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I never saw that movie.
Yeah, it's fucking gay. Yeah, it was just like, man, like that time was like, man, it was a time to be alive. But I got the PS2, like, I think either like the year of the PS3 or the year before the PS3. So, yeah, and then about a year or 2 years later is when I got my Wii, and that's basically where my gaming career, or not career, but my gaming life kind of really got going, because I would play, after I got the Spider-Man Friend or Foe, I got Star Wars Battlefront 2, and at that point, this is the one made by Pandemic Studio, right? Yeah. Pandemic. Did they predict the pandemic? Made by Pandemic Studios, by LucasArts. And this fucking game, dude, was like, I don't even know how to explain it, bro. Like, it was just a game. You know, it was such an improvement to the original game. You got to play as all the Jedis, the clone troopers, the stormtroopers, any hypothetical war that you would have had with your toys, like droids fighting stormtroopers or stormtroopers fighting clone troopers, you could do that in the game. It was, if you were a Star Wars fan, that was the game to have. You could live out your fucking fantasies with that. You want to replay the fight on Mustafar, Geonosis, Utapau, Coruscant, Kashyyyk, you could do it, right? You could have space battles, all types of shit. Then in that game, this is so funny because games used to have trailers for other games inside their games.
Yeah.
And they had a trailer for Star Wars, Lego Star Wars 2, right? So I'm like, Mom, I want to get Lego Star Wars 2. So my mom, because my mom's a gangster, she was like, no, you got to get the first one. She bought me the first one, and then when she had gotten paid, she got me the second one, right? So this is before the Obama administration ruined everything, by the way. Mm-hmm. It's funny because I have so much memory from that time too, before Obama, and fuck that guy, and his husband. But
wait,
yeah,
quick, can you put your phone on silence because it's gonna keep on showing up? Yeah. Okay. Shout out Nick for doing that. He's a real G. He's a real G for taking time out of his day to put his phone on silence. Gives 5 big booms, but I'm not gonna do it right now. Anyway, so I don't mean to interrupt you or anything. But
sorry, I was just going down memory lane because I'm like remembering all the great times back then. Like, because here's the thing: when I got my Wii, what made the Wii so big was that it was a culture. It was a fucking cultural fucking zeitgeist. Is that what they call it? It was definitely. I mean, think about it. The memes that we have today. Memes. What do a lot of the memes play? The fucking like all that shit. The fucking Wii Sports, the Wii menu, all that shit, nigga. It
was the first console to really become like a family. Actually, It was the first one to be like a family entertainment device in a way that wasn't just, oh, we have DVDs you can play.
Yeah, like you could actually like do boxing with your family,
Yeah.
or tennis, or bowling, or fucking baseball, right? You could do all this fun shit, but you had the interactive remote,
Yeah.
right? But this I'll never forget. Like back then, nigga, like if you had Netflix on your fucking
Yeah.
Wii, like you had that shit, bro. Like you were like ahead of your time. I'll never forget the first time I played the Wii. Or the first time I saw the Wii with Netflix on it, dude, I lost my fucking marbles. I thought this was like NASA. But no, yeah, so I
Yeah, I
played.
thought it was crazy when I went on the browser and I basically figured out like, oh, you could
You
just
can
type
find
in
porn.
YouTube. No, you could type in
Oh.
YouTube onto the thing, and you can play YouTube on the TV. I thought it was crazy. Even though I probably could have just put HDMI through my TV and done the same thing, but all of us from minorities, we couldn't figure that out.
Dude, yeah, but back then, dude, that was like fucking lit, right? And yeah, that's basically where my gaming shit started. Eventually, I got a PS3. And it's funny because I was a fucking dumbass back then. I didn't know how to connect to the internet, so I just played offline.
Yeah.
And then I started playing online. I think the year before the PS4 came out. And then I played Black Ops 2. I played the fuck out of Black Ops 2, Minecraft, Black Ops 1, Red Dead Redemption, the Batman Arkham games, the first two. Yeah, I played a lot of that shit back then. And as I got older, I started losing interest in video games. The main games that I played was just probably like Call of Duty. What was the other one? GTA, right?
Yeah.
And then I got into the Assassin's Creed series for a little while. Then I tried forcing myself to go through a gaming phase, but I never like really went through with it. This is like during the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
I tried forcing myself to play like, I'm not hating on you, but like Devil May Cry or fucking what's the other one? God of War, Spider-Man, like whatever games I could get my hand. Dragon Ball, was it Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot?
Yeah.
Like I tried playing all these fucking games I had zero interest in, but I forced myself because I'm like, oh no, I'm trying to be a gamer. I'm trying to enjoy the games. So, but I started losing interest around high school because I wanted to go out and be a hood rat with my friends instead of playing whatever game it was that I was playing. And it's funny because like the two games that I play the most now is Black Ops 3 and fucking, what's the other one? GTA. I mean Black Ops 6 obviously because it's the new Call of Duty, but BO3 and fucking GTA 5 are still like, I've had those games since the beginning and I still play those games almost every day. It's because my monkey brain won't let me like evolve to like the new game HUDs, the new, just like everything that gaming is now doesn't feel like, I don't know, it just isn't fun for me anymore.
Wow. Well, yes.
The newest game that I played that I actually really liked was Assassin's Creed Origins, and that came out in like 2018.
It's like 7. It's 7. Is it 7? No.
I played it in
Probably
2020 though.
Yeah, that was probably like a 2-year-old game at the time. Plus, like damn near 5 years. That's like 7 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So my thing with gaming is that I really didn't connect with it. Like I didn't have like that immense connection to it when I was like a kid, because all I had was like DS and Wii. So I was a Nintendo kid. And it wasn't because like, I think mainly it was because it was like the cheaper devices to buy out of like all
Yeah, the
other
Wii
consoles.
was always the cheaper
Yeah.
console. Wait, real quick. Do you remember Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games?
Yeah.
Oh my god, nigga, those were the fucking games to have back then. Look, you go. I'm sorry.
But then again,
I'm sorry.
those-
I got hit with
all-
nostalgia.
all of like the Nintendo games were kind of more like communal with like the rest of the family, or like with other people.
Yeah,
Like,
if you got Super Mario Bros. Wii, was it Wii?
Yeah.
New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Yeah, you could play the 4 characters. You play with your whole family.
And then, but also there was the DS games. I don't know if you ever got to experience that, but
I played New Super Mario Bros. on the DS.
no. But did you ever like do the thing where like a bunch of other people had DSs and like you would do like a little like not a LAN party, but it was like a wireless play where like they would play like the I don't know, Mario Kart, or there's all these mini games that used to be on like all the Mario games. There were like 4 mini games, and there's like one called like Where's Luigi, where you'll try to tap on Luigi or whatever. Anyway, there are all these mini games.
Wait, weren't you able to text people on there?
Yeah, it was called Picto Chat, where like if you're in like a near connection, like all you just like draw and like text people and all that stuff. I find that one to be a more communal thing than like just like playing like the Wii with the family, because that thing, if like another person had like a DS, you could just like fuck around and like play whatever game, and you wouldn't even have to know that. But like there's so many times I remember playing with like some kid who I like never see again, but we both had DSs, so we're like, oh shit, let's play. Like you could probably play Mario Kart, like Mario Kart DS. You could put like 8 of them, and you could actually have like a whole like competition. Just based off of like having enough DSs.
God, dude, those are the fucking days, bro.
Yeah, it was like way more communal.
Do you remember real quick? I'm gonna go off topic just real quick. Do you remember the Green Ninja from Ninjago?
Yeah.
Do you remember when like they were about to announce who the Green Ninja was?
Yeah.
And everybody, bro, we got the whole clan together, and we would have like a council of Nicaea. We had like an ecumenical council, and we would discuss who's the Green Ninja. Because you said communal, like with the DSs.
Yeah.
But that's like such a throwback to like back when we were kids. Because I feel like when we were kids, there was still like this sense of like community, like this sense of like telling your friends about whatever you saw on TV or a video game. Like, I don't know.
There were still like TV shows going on.
Yeah. Like let's say if there was an episode of iCarly, but it was like, because you know how sometimes they would split it into like 2 episodes, right? Like let's say Sam or fucking Carly. I don't know. They got let's say they got pregnant, and then they're like, then Sam or Carly stops at a Planned Parenthood. They stop the episode right there, right?
Created by Dave.
And then we just go to school the next day and like, bro, did you see the episode? And then what would happen? We would gather the council, right? We would gather the council, and all the niggas would be there talking about. Bro, fucking Sam and fucking Carly and Freddie. Freddie might be the dad. Gibby might be the fucking... Spencer might be the dad. But with video games back then, it was the same thing. Bro, like, oh man. Like back in the day, when you finished the Call of Duty campaign, whoever finished the Call of Duty campaign, keep your fucking mouth shut, nigga. You feel me? Because everyone else is like, I mean, because at that time, like, everyone was a kid, so like, they weren't as good at Call of Duty. So like by the end of the week, everybody will be done with their game, and then we will be talking about Black Ops. Oh, bro, did you see Black Ops? Did you see Black Ops? They killed all the guys, and Kennedy. Did you see the thing about Kennedy, bro? Black Ops is the reason why I got red pilled. Sidetrack. That's a sidetrack, right? But no, yeah. Like, bro, like, back then, gaming just felt so much more like, what's the word? Innovative. It felt so much more communal because we were so excited about all the new shit that was coming out. Think about it like this, right? Oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
I'm going to have to write that down somewhere. I feel like I'm going to forget.
You just write that down.
Just keep on talking.
So we had so much innovation. We had so much innovation in the gaming community. Like we went from like PS2 to PS3, right? So what was the big innovation from PS2 to PS3?
Internet connection and high definition graphics.
And playing with your friends, right?
Yeah.
Online. Like think about that. Like people back then were like, especially like if you weren't as technologically savvy, or if you're like kind of like more on the poor side, and they told you like, bro, do you know you can play with your friend? You can play zombies with your friend online, and you can play with other people online. Everyone was like, what? Are you fucking serious? You can do that?
And it was free at the time, right?
And it was free because on PlayStation they had it free. So then you're like, bro, my brother in Christ, you're telling me that I can play? Hold on. You're telling me a Chicago resident, I can play with somebody all the way in Beijing? Guy, right? You're telling me I can do that? And you could, and you did. And that's what made it so fun. That's what made it so interesting. And then another thing is like, not to bring politics into it, but people weren't as like politically divided back then. So like anybody from anywhere could get along, and you know, like you had Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed. They talked about historical events, right? So kids, I mean, you had fucking kids talking about Niccolo Machiavelli, the author of The Prince.
Yeah.
What the fuck do these YNs know about The Prince? Right? The Crusades, the Templars, the American Revolution, right? Benedict Arnold. What fucking kid prior to Assassin's Creed 3 would know who Benedict Arnold was? Nobody, right? So, I don't know, dude. Just like gaming back then. And then, let's not forget, the fucking Mario and Sonic games. Bro.
Like, you consider that like a really big highlight?
Yeah, it is. It is.
For Nintendo.
Because if you're like a dumbass minority, the idea of Mario and Sonic crossing...
Okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, the first one, it was when they put both of them in Smash Bros. That was like the first mind blown. And then when they had the game, it was like... But for at least for me, it was like ever since I've known both of the characters, they've both been like together. I wasn't there when there was the whole fucking rivalry and shit.
So I remember in 2010 when we had the Vancouver Winter Olympics. Like okay, this is back when society wasn't as nihilistic and people actually like cared about. Like, think about it. Back then, people cared about the Winter Olympics. They cared about the boxing championships. Even if you didn't watch fucking football, everyone was there to see a championship. Everyone was there to see a fucking Olympics, Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, right? Everybody was there to see this shit. But what happened? Society became cynical. Mario and Sonic fucked off and did their own thing, and society fell apart.
No, they kept on doing it.
I know. I'm just being...
They only stopped with the recent Olympics. I think... I think Sega, they were the ones who were making the game. They just got Nintendo like the approval to like use all the characters and stuff. But they did one like the like for the last Olympics. I think they did one, but it was just the Sonic characters. So it kind of lost like all the aura.
Yeah, it lost the aura. No. I mean, I know they did other.
But
Mario
people stopped playing them.
I know that
because they started being bitch ass and the Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, because of the Wii U, because they got burnt out with the Wii U.
Then they got burnt out with the Wii U. They just didn't know what the fuck the Wii U was.
Yeah, they're like,
did you remember that back in the day? People were like the main, or what people say with the Wii U. The problem was that like no one knew what the fuck it was, so like they didn't buy it.
Oh, like, I did hear that. Like, yeah, they were like confused. Like, what the fuck is a Wii U?
They're like, oh, is it like a DLC or is it a whole new console or like they didn't know. So that's what they say is why the Wii U like fell off.
You know what my aunt said about that?
What?
She's like, Wii U sounds like PU. It was like a boomer joke. It was funny at the time.
Wow. Yeah, this is I think this was the last one, but then it just turned into Sonic.
Let me see.
Sorry.
Wait. I have a question. What? I know it's a boomer question, but does I remember the London 2012. Wait, can you go to London 2012? I was gonna get that one, but I couldn't because I was poor. Wait, so can I play Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games, the Vancouver one? Can I play that on the Nintendo Switch?
No, there's a version of it.
Obviously, but I'm saying, can I still play a version of the game on the Switch?
I don't know if there's a winter one on the Switch, but
look up Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games 2010. Nintendo Switch. Look it up right now because I might even fucking buy it because we're about to get into that.
No, you can't play the 2010 version.
Are you fucking serious?
No.
Look it up. I don't believe you. You know, like when Padme didn't believe that Anakin turned to the dark side. That's how I feel right now.
If something shows up, it's gonna be like a shitty fan made box art.
Dude, nigga, just go to all so I can see if they even have it available in the shop.
Dude, this is fucking Google Images, not a fucking shop.
I know, but go to all because maybe they have it on the store and you have to buy it through the store.
No, you can't.
Bro, I'm being heartbroken right now. Fuck.
Wait, did they only do one Winter Olympic one?
Yeah, it was a 2010.
No, but they kept on doing it, so I thought they would have done like, what the? They only did one? Wait, I need to look up. This is part of the crossover sport developed by the international. The first, oh my gosh, it's The third installment. Well, okay, so this is the third one. And then then they did one for the Wii U, and then they did one for Rio on the Wii U. No one played these ones. Oh, and then they skipped. Oh, no, I'm dumb. They skipped 4 years, but they didn't do a winter one for the Switch. So yeah, so they didn't have a winter one for the Switch.
I don't care about a winter one. I'm talking about the 2010.
You want the game that you played
Yeah.
on the Switch.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't work because the Switch doesn't have the Wiimote thing put into it. Like.
But don't they have Super Mario Bros. Wii on there?
Yeah, but it's they ported it. It's not just like the same game. And it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work because it doesn't have like all like the pointing things.
This is it. We're done with this podcast.
Like they ported they did a port of like Super Mario Galaxy, but it works differently compared to how the Wii one works because they don't have you can't just get a Wiimote connected to the Switch. Like it doesn't work like that. That's why I still keep my Wii and shit around, and I keep my Wii U around. Because also the Wii U is like how you can play HD Wii games. Because the original Wii was 480p, I believe, or 40i, I believe. But
Oh, it's
yeah.
not bad. $200.
I have the game, and I
I want it in my house so I can goon to Amy by myself when you're not around. And Princess Peach.
I could get the game for you. I could put it. I could set up your Wii and put it on a hard drive and everything.
No, I want the
Well,
I want the actual
game
system.
case and everything. I don't have the game case. I only have the CD with probably scratched and everything.
I hate fucking.
But yeah, that's why I keep my Wii around. That's why my sister was telling me the other day. She was like, this is like probably like a year ago. She's like, "Can I have the Wii? I want to put it in my college dorm." I'm like, "No." Like
Having a Wii is like.
You can get a Wii for like actually no, it's probably more expensive now. I remember back in the day, like
Because of the tariffs. Thanks, Trump.
I remember during the pandemic, it was probably like $50 or like $20 sometimes.
I might get a fucking Wii U. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wii U's expensive.
It's $130.
Where? Where you? Are you?
At GameStop.
$130?
Yeah, I'm not lying to you.
Hold up.
I might get this motherfucker.
Oh, if it's refurbished, yeah, I guess.
Wait, but refurbished means it was broken and they fixed it?
No, it just means that they cleaned it up and shit, and they took like all the cum out of it and shit.
No wonder why my game is so slow.
I don't know. The Wii U's kind of
Because I you know, can I tell you this? I've been thinking about just like saying fuck mainstream content, which is basically PlayStation, Xbox, and just thinking about getting like a Wii U, a Nintendo Switch, the Switch 2.
That's what we're gonna talk about. So it's the Switch 2. This is what we're kind of leading up to. I was gonna get into my story mainly with game, but just to be honest, is like I didn't really have like a game connection, and then unlike you during COVID, I played a few games. I played like all the Devil May Cry games. I played like all the Mega Man games, or at least the mainstream ones. But I found my niche of games that I like.
Well, I played a bunch of PS3 games during that time because that's when I sold you my PS4. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was before that. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's why I got tapped in, because you sold me your PS4 because you're down bad.
Yeah.
and I first I was gonna be like, well, I have $100, so I'll just give it to him, and then I'll use it to like watch Blu-rays or whatever. But then I during COVID, I was like, oh shoot, I could like play a bunch of games finally. Cause in my head I was like, I guess I'll play games, but it's like whatever. But then I realized the PS4 damn near has like a bunch of, between like remasters and like some of the newer games, it had some bangers. So that's how I started playing. I play like all of the Devil May Cry games. I don't know, bro. It's like I tried putting you on, and it was funny because at the time you're glazing PS2 games, and I felt like the first Devil May Cry is like the most PS2 game because it was like a launch title, I think, in America, and couldn't get it, which is funny. But yeah, no, I found my niche, and
Yeah, because during that time I started playing. I started replaying because I had a bunch of PS3 games. You know, like when your aunts and uncles buy you shit that you never fucking touch. Okay, so I had a bunch of PS2 and PS3 games that my aunts and uncles bought me that I never played. So what I did was I had some money, so I scrapped together money to buy was it 128 megabyte no megabyte. Wait, 1,000 megabytes make a gigabyte, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a 128 or a crazy amount of megabyte memory card, and that was going to be the memory card that I used to play all these games, because that's when you gave me DMC. And I played my Wii. I finally beat Matt in all the Wii niggas know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I finally beat Matt in Wii Sports. I replayed the Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games. I remember when I was a little kid, it took me like a year or two to like completely like max out everything, and I did it probably like in like a week as like an adult. But yeah, all I was playing was old PS3, PS2, and Wii games at that point. It was a fun time. COVID was a fun time. Yeah, I did get big into gaming. I did, but it was old console games because I'm a fucking monkey. I'm a dumbass, and I have a hard time understanding all the game HUDs and all the fix-its and what's-its in the new games. Like, bro, if I'm playing Assassin's Creed, I just want to hop in a fucking building, kill some Templars, and call it a fucking day. I'm not trying to figure out what the esoteric meaning behind some bullshit fucking painting that I found. Right? No, I just want to hop in the game, play it, and, you know, have fun. I don't give a fuck about all this extra shit that they want to shove down my throat. And that's what they were doing. That's what they do today. It's like it's like, for example, Call of Duty Zombies, right? Call of Duty Zombies, all you did was press the map that you wanted, start game, boom. There you go. You played your fucking game. Now, you set up a class, set up your gobblegums, set up your power-ups, the gun that you want. Bro, I don't give a fuck about any of that. I want to hop in the game and fucking play. That's why I want to get a Switch, because I feel like Nintendo games kind of like what's the word?
They're like arcadey.
Yeah, they cater more towards
like
arcadey type of games.
Yeah,
and that's what I don't like about the new games now.
Yeah, that's funny because what I've been this is the only thing that's funny that I'm playing this game. But this is one game I started playing. Well, it's not really a game. It's like a fitness game basically. But they have a few fitness games, and I bought this one because it was based off of a anime that I like, and it's basically like it feels like an arcade game, but at the same time it's like a workout game where you're like boxing, and you just like, and you look really fucking stupid, or I look really stupid when I play the game, but hold on. So you're just like lining up like the punches and the jabs with like the Joy-Con and everything. It's fun. It's arcade.
No. I'm not even gonna go against what you're saying.
It's pick up and play.
This is the fucking issue with games, dude. I don't care. Ooh.
Yeah, and then you can unlock costumes and everything. Honestly, I was getting really into it. I got sore after playing it for like 2 days.
Dude, honestly, that's valid because, bro, I don't give a fuck about all this crazy little control mechanisms and bullshit stuff that they have. Okay, I know I sound like a boomer, but I don't care. I don't give a fuck about there's a new advanced movement system in Call of Duty that you can shove up your fucking ass while you're getting.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That should look crazy.
Well, no. Okay, in Black Ops 6, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it actually
it looked crazy. That's why I think I asked you before the game came out, and you're like, "What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, no. Yeah, actually, no. Okay, Black Ops 6 is probably like the best movement system and like the smoothest playing game or the smoothest playing COD that's came out in a while. I love Black Ops 6. I'm gonna get I'm gonna max out all the camos and everything. This is the fastest. I know you just like I'm speaking Chinese to you basically, but I'm gonna max out on all the camos and shit pretty soon. So I love this game so much, and it's such a. I love that it's like a callback to the old Black Ops games. Well, I mean every Black Ops game since Black Ops 4 has been a callback to the first two Black Ops games. But no, yeah, dude, like I think that's why, like I said, going back to the Switch, that's why I want to get a Switch because I feel like there are more arcadey games. And it's simple enough for a dumbass like me to get into. I never got to play Super Mario Galaxy 2. I never got to play Super Mario Bros. Wii U. I never got to play I don't know. I can't think of anything. I always wanted to finish playing Super Mario All Stars. You got to be a real nigga to know what that is.
It's a Super Nintendo game that they repackaged for the Wii, and then everyone was like, "Oh, no, you need to get it. It's super rare." Like, but it wasn't
Okay,
even
but
like
in my time, getting that was like getting a hold of like a fucking Duerim Bible.
or like the Star Wars original.
Yeah,
DVD,
basically
theatrical
that's what
cut.
that was. I thought I had the real thing on DVD.
Yeah, but it was. Oh, it's funny. It's funny the whole existence of that one, but I don't know, bro. You honestly, bro, I could just give you my Wii U because I'm not really using it right now. There's
Wait,
like,
is it hacked or no?
yeah, it's hacked, but you could, but it has all the games.
Okay.
I could basically have you. I'll have to like show you around a little bit, but I could basically show you like all the games you're talking about missing out because you could play. The good thing about the Wii U once you hack it is that you can get like, Wii U, you could play Wii games, and then you can also play GameCube games because like all the hardware from like the GameCube to the Wii U is kind of like the hardware we're building up on like the same like principle. Or it's the same. It's the same hardware that's like building up upon itself, and then they rebooted it with the Switch and they started all over again. But yeah, that console's like 3-in-1. It's like what people want the PS4 to be, or like the PS5 where it has all the backwards compatibility. That's what the Switch can do. But actually, it's not like it's emulators. It's like a HD remaster. No, it can actually get GameCube games, and you could play it on the Wii U.
That's so cool. That's what I love about. Fuck, dude, I can't believe I snoozed on Nintendo for this long. But it's also like, okay, like if you grew up as like a normal boy, like you wanted to play Xbox or PlayStation with your friends.
Yeah.
But I think I do want to get back into Nintendo because, like, I don't like. Okay. I kind of don't like playing video games with my friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind GTA or Call of Duty. I know that's like low hanging fruit, whatever you want to call it, but for the most part, if I had to choose between staying up till 3 in the morning playing fucking Call of Duty with my friends or just playing an hour or two of Mario, I would probably choose an hour or two of Mario because Mario's fun to play.
Yeah.
I love Mario.
Yeah, you probably need to binge all the 3D Marios at one point. That's another thing I did over COVID. I binged like almost all, except for the Switch. Honestly, you need to play Mario 3D World.
Yeah, I wanted to play it.
In my opinion, that's like the best one. You probably need to play with me. Well, yeah. So we're gonna get into this is the main thing we want to talk about, the Switch 2, because Switch 2 just got announced recently, and it's causing a lot of problems or getting controversy, mainly because of the price. Because from the Switch 2 it's basically the same. It's not the same. But
is the Switch? Can I ask you this? Is the Switch 2 the Wii U for the Wii?
No, because they're being very obvious that this is the next step forward. That's why they called the Switch 2, and they didn't call it like something fancy like the double Switch or something. I don't know. Like
put a Switch on your Glock.
So they could have called it something like way more like interesting, but they just really know we need to call it Switch 2 because we need people to know that this is the next step in the Switch line.
But in your opinion, how is it a next step in the Switch line?
Well, because
not just your opinion, but like the actual specs.
So the specs are, I think they're almost up to like, I think they're just looking at the console and like the games that they're having on it. It's like a little under PS5 level, like tech. It's almost there, but it's like a little under. Obviously, since it's a portable system, and they're including a lot more like bells and whistles into it. Like they're including like a. It's funny because the Switch. I don't know how it's not serious. The base Switch, you kind of need a bunch of adapters to like make it work. Like you need like a network adapter to like put in like the LAN cable and all that stuff. But it seems like this one has all of that built in.
So basically, I could just hook it up to my Wi-Fi and plug it into my TV.
Yeah, because it has like a little stand thing. Like the stand thing.
Yeah, like what the Wii had, right? Remember the Wii, the first Wii that came out, because the Wii's they made them horizontal, but originally they were vertical, and they had a stand.
It's not really like that. It's like there's like a little system that once you plug your Switch in into this dock, it goes up to the TV. It's like when it's like a little system that already has like the HDMI connected to it and everything.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
that's a fucking upgrade.
All you gotta do is just land. Well, that's been in the OG Switch, but now they've added a lot more like bells and whistles because for the original Switch, there was like there's a lot of ports that didn't exist on the main base, so you had to like get like extensions and everything. But this one has it built in. It also has a microphone built in, um, which wasn't in the original one, which is kind of weird because the DS didn't have one. But what they're trying to do with this one, I guess the spec wise, they're trying to make it up to like kind of PS5 level, and they're making like the game chat be more like, they're trying to bring like that communal aspect back again, where like people can talk and everything, and they're playing games. So they're basically like they're building in like a version of like Zoom into the Switch, but it's not like they don't want to like go at it.
Like I can't say the N word.
I probably you can, but they don't want to go at it. They don't want to have like that traditional like gamer chat feel. They're trying to make it more like a like, oh, like let's like in case you want to play like Mario Party, you can play Mario Party.
Can we play with you?
If everyone has or Mario Kart, if everyone has Mario Kart and you have the Switch Online account, which is like I think like $4 or something. If all you guys have that and you guys have the camera, they're selling like a camera now that could work separately. They're trying to recreate like that feeling of like playing with everyone, but they're trying to make it more like connected to the internet. They're at least trying to make like the communal aspect a lot more seamless with this one, because I think the problem with the first Switch is that they lost on that like the whole family like entertainment thing, because it was like a tablet, and like when you're playing with a tablet, you're just like either it's on the TV or like you're just like putting it in the corner, you're playing like a regular handheld.
Yeah.
But they're trying to.
Yeah, because I always felt like the Switch was like the Wii and the DS had a baby together.
Yeah, but the problem is that they lost on like.
Wait, real quick, I'm gonna ask you another dumbass question. Can you play DS games on the Switch?
No, it wouldn't work out really well. That's why I still have DSs too.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of the DS games, they only really work well on like obviously like the 3DS. They only really work well on those systems because the 2-screen thing.
The 3DS was the last DS that came out, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So those, and they don't have like a thing where you can play like old DS games on the Switch. They only went up to like GameCube or the Switch 2. They're bringing GameCube games, but it's not like on the Wii where you could buy old games on the virtual console. All of it works. It basically like when you can Switch Online, it has like a Netflix type system, where once you subscribe to the thing, you get access to all the old games. But
yeah, because why? I mean, I'm pretty sure they would try to get N64 games on there.
No, they do have N64.
Yeah, like Donkey Kong and fucking Mario. Same thing with the NES and SNES.
Yeah, they have like most of those. They have most of, like the name brand, like mainstay Nintendo.
Yeah.
But yeah, the problem with that is that obviously you don't have access to actually buying them. So if you lose a subscription, and you can't.
But I thought that you could just buy the game yourself. Like if I wanted to buy Super Mario All Stars, I can't just straight up.
No, you gotta have the subscription.
Oh, it's kind of gay.
Yeah, so that's why most people do. They just have the thing on their computer, but Nintendo doesn't want you doing that.
I'd rather just get a Wii U and just fucking.
Yeah, that's why people still have the Wii U too, because you could just like have all. So basically, with the Wii U, you can, or at the time because the stores closed down, but people have their ways around. NES, SNES, N64.
What, are you fucking serious? You can't even. What? You can't even access the store? I think it's kind of gay.
They shut it down, but people have their ways.
Oh yeah.
GameCube through methods, and then Wii. Yeah, you can find your way, but that's why I don't look for Nintendo to play old games. I just if anything, I look for them to get the remasters and everything, but I don't really expect them to like put.
Yeah, I don't mind playing a remaster of Mario Galaxy or Mario Wii.
Yeah, but the main contention with the Switch 2. Well, because it seems like a good, from the whole presentation they showed last week, it seems good, but they didn't show any of the prices. It wasn't until after the presentation happened that some of the prices started getting shown. And I think what the console was, just the console itself is $450, and the launch title game is going to be the new Mario Kart game. And that game is going to be $90 for the physical release, and it has a lot of people concerned. Okay, so compared to the Switch, the original Switch was $300. Mm-hmm. This is $150 more, And then obviously with the game, instead of being $60, which has been the standard for a long time for almost like every console,
Every console since PS3.
yeah. Now we're going up to
Excuse me, PS2.
$90 for the Mario Kart game, and I think that all the other games are gonna be like $80 or something like that, or around that. But all the games are basically having a price hike, and it's getting people are getting concerned that if this if people buy enough people buy this the Switch, the new Switch, and they buy the new Mario Kart, or they keep on buying all the Switch games and they keep on selling well, then it's going to be a standard for all the game companies to be 90. And my thing is, I'm glad that they're raising prices for two reasons. Because if they're being upfront about how much the game costs to make, because it can't be 60.
Yeah, because games were $60 back in the fucking 80s and 90s.
Yeah, it can't.
And some of them were even more expensive back then, correct?
Yeah, because what is this one
Pull it up, Jamie.
So this is the NES price.
Okay, how much is that game right there?
It's funny. Batman Forever, some random SNES Batman game, is like almost $100.
$95. Okay, go into Google right now. Open up a tab right next to it and look. And I want to start comparing prices from then to now.
Okay, so like you
95.
You want an inflation?
Yeah, I want inflation. Yeah.
Inflation calculator. I'm gonna say 95 just for
Yeah, because that's when the what the fuck was it called again? The Nintendo what?
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, yeah.
From January.
But that came out in the 80s. It came out in 85, I believe.
No, that was the original Nintendo.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Oh, no, actually, no. 90. I think 92 was when the Super Nintendo came out.
Okay, just go to 92.
92. Actually, we'll do 92 just to be... And then we do...
Yes. Games come out usually, what, the summer?
What the? Oh, I'm stupid. I put a date that doesn't even exist. So. What the?
Just. Yeah, because they don't want you to know about the tariffs.
Okay, so it's like over double.
Okay, so basically, people were paying $95 back in 1993 for that random ass Batman game, right? They paid $95. So today that's the equivalent of paying 200 and what? 215?
212.
Say 215. Could remember taxes. Basically almost $250 fucking dollars for a video game. And the price jump of the games that we're getting now really isn't that bad when you think about it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, let's just say 80. Let's just say 80 becomes the new
and we're
standard.
talking about like AAA.
AAA games coming out with $90 games, right?
Yeah.
It's not that fucking bad. I mean, can you imagine Batman? Okay, you collected all the fucking Batman comics, right? Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, whatever.
Keep on going.
Frank Miller.
Keep on
right?
going.
Alan Moore.
Okay, you got the game.
So
okay.
You collected all their comics, and now you got to SNES, right? And you tell your Mama, right? Because your dad stepped out of your life because he went to go grab cigarettes. Mama, can I get what's the game called?
It's called Batman Forever.
Can I get Batman Forever, the game for my Super Nintendo? And she's like, well, I'm going to have to invite my friend over, right? And we can't have our movie nights together for a while, right? And then I come over, right? I'm going to have Jerry curls because that's what niggas wore back then, right? That's how expensive video games were back then. Single moms had to sleep with fucking dirty-ass niggas like me to buy their kid Batman Forever. And a $20 spike in video games is not bad. Especially with today's economy, that's not bad at all.
I think the only way you're gonna really get a problem is if like you're buying games like every like month.
Yeah.
And I know there are people like that, but I think that's also a problem. Is that since gaming has to move on from like the next thing, like every single time, they also have to keep it at 60 these games like they just come and go. There's not really like a game that like stays forever. I think even like GTA, the new one, when it comes out, I think they said it's gonna be $100.
Yeah.
So these people, the game companies are realize they're kind of standing on business and being like, I know that we make games that cost way more than $60 and finally admitting it. Because what
maybe that's why they release shitty ass games.
Or no, what they do is that
I'm talking about the games like when they release them, they have bugs and shit.
Yeah. Because they know that they could just work it out once they get a bigger player base and it costs like X amount of money. Like I think there was like a Suicide Squad game that came out. It was made by the people who made the Arkham games, but the game wasn't finished. But as the thing was like coming out, once the story like finished, the last part of the story wasn't even like it wasn't like a cutscene or anything. It was like a what's it called? Like a motion comic where it was just like illustrations and it was barely playing out. They only exist just to like wrap up the story. But they knew, okay, this game fucking flopped. We're just gonna like barely fix or like barely put out the rest of the game because we didn't make the money back. Now, and also the other problem is that deluxe editions are fucking ruining everything because if you can either buy the base game, but then you're like, oh no, but like you don't have this or you don't have this DLC armor or everything. But if you buy the deluxe edition, which is already $90, and you buy or it's like 100 something because you get some fucking gay helmet.
You get a fucking Star Wars dildo.
Yeah. And then you go like,
you get to shove Darth Vader's fucking lightsaber up your ass.
It's already like the deluxe versions created this thing because they already knew like, hey, our game costs way more than this, but they've been scamming people. They've also been scamming people by doing fucking loot boxes and shit all the time.
Do you remember when that was an issue?
Yeah.
Nigga, remember they got the Supreme Court?
Yeah.
That's like, fucking. That was a time to be alive.
So if you guys are just trying to cut out, especially Nintendo, because again, Nintendo, they kind of don't like having to do all the fucking other bullshit. So I respect them for being honest and being like, okay, no, this game costs this much. We're gonna make it.
Bro, Nintendo's not gonna sponsor you.
Yeah, and then I say this, and then they go like, oh no, you're just being a Nintendo glazer. You're average Nintendo fan, lazy Nintendo. I'm like, bro, they're being. Well,
they made Super Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games, 2010, Vancouver.
Well, actually, no, it was Sega who made it. They just got like the.
Okay, do they have it on Xbox? No. Do they have it on Gay Station? No.
Well, there's a bunch of Sega games that are exclusive onto Nintendo because they're.
Yeah, Sonic Colors, Sonic and the Seven Secret Rings.
And then they destroyed it on the remaster.
Wait, they remastered
Sonic Colors, yeah, but it looks bad.
What about the Seven Secret Rings?
No, because no one gives a shit about those games. They only care about Sonic Colors, and so they remastered it. But it was
Well, I don't see color, but look, no, I don't think there's a problem with the spike, hike. The price spike.
I feel like what's gonna happen is that Nintendo, they're being honest about the price hike, but the problem is that all like Sony and shit, they're gonna.
I thought it was a stupid joke. I can't say it on air. I'll tell you off air.
The problem is that once other people start buying into the price hike.
I think you know what it is too, but I'm not gonna say it.
Once they get bought into the price hike, like Sony and all these fucking other motherfuckers and Xbox and shit.
Xbox niggas and PlayStation niggas, bro, I can't pay no fucking $80 for Call of Duty.
Be like, nah, man, I need to get. They're gonna stop paying child support because they need to pay. They need to pay for the $90.
You might want to play the intro song because I'm gonna go off right now. So it doesn't matter the price hike that's going up. If you're buying new video games every fucking month, what are you doing with your life? I play the shit out of 3 video games. 2 of those 3 video games I've had since 2015. Okay? There's a lot more you have to do in life besides buying the brand new Assassin's Creed, which sucks every fucking year since the woke ass Odyssey game. Call of Duty is the same game every year. I'm saying it as a Call of Duty fan. All praise due to Allah. I'm admitting it myself, right? Fucking, what other games come out? The Sony exclusive, like God of War, Spider-Man 2 with Black Spider-Man.
Sony doesn't have any games. That's the funny part.
What other games? Infamous, that fucking died. Last of Us, that finished. Uncharted. What the fuck is even Uncharted, right? You need to find something more productive to do in your life. And this is what I say. I said it to Kachi on air and off air. I'm pretty sure. I know I've said off air all the time. I equate. I'm gonna throw gamers in this group too. I equate anime fans and sport fans as like the same, right? So when you talk to a sports fan, right, you'll be like, yeah, dude, I think the Dodgers did good this year. Nigga, I watched like 2 games, right? Right? I don't have fucking 4 hours of my life to just throw away to watch. Oh yeah, he hit a pitch from the third, and then he ran, and then this guy, then he was injured for the game, and then he cheated on his wife, and then this, and then fucking Kevin Durant got injured, and then well, not Kevin Durant, Derrick Rose got fucking injured, and he shot a 3-pointer, and then
chicken jockey.
and then yeah, like I don't think he's gonna make it to the final game. It's like, dude, I just want to watch the fucking game when I'm at B-Dubs or when I'm at the bar. Okay, it makes me a hypocrite. Why? Because I love the UFC, right? But
Back a nigga cheese. Back a nigga cheese. Back a nigga
that's my favorite song.
Back a nigga cheese.
Yeah. Same thing with anime fans, right? You talk to an anime fan, like, for example, yeah, I know you're fucking like this. If I'm like, yeah, dude, I really like Dragon Ball. It's my favorite anime. Dragon Ball's for fucking normies or some bullshit like that. It is, but I don't care enough about that art, and I love the art form of anime, but just like I think sports are valid when you're fucking participating in sports, or if you're doing DraftKings, if you're a fucking degenerate gambler.
Hey, why do you give him a shout out? They ain't doing
FanDuel.
Oh my! You're gonna start naming all of them?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta get a sponsor already.
Barstool.
You know, if you're involved in gambling, that's cool. If you participate in the sport, because I know there's fantasy leagues and stuff like that, that's fine because you're getting physical activity. But if you're gonna sit here and get all anal about this fucking team and they fucking someone's injured and oh yeah, they're really doing good this year, I don't give a fuck. The same thing like when because I always say this, like when I get drunk or if I get high, I like watching anime dubbed because I don't want to fucking read. Okay, anime niggas, and I've met plenty of anime niggas, not just you. They're like, no, bro, you gotta watch it dubbed or not subbed. You have to watch it subbed, bro. That's the only true way to experience. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Okay, I just want to watch some fucking Asian-looking niggas, Asian-looking white people fight. That's it. That's all I want to see. There's better things to do in your life besides watching every anime or watching every fucking game that the Cubs or the fucking Red Sox fucking have. Or the Lakers, the Heat, whoever the fuck else you can think of.
No, I'm sorry. Look at the tweet.
You know?
Shout out,
to Ye. But no, yeah, like I said, you know, I think if you're somebody that overindulges on a certain hobby that doesn't further your character or further you as a man, whether it's physically, mentally, financially, or spiritually, then you know, and it's not to say, okay, like I said, sports. Yes, you can learn a lot about sports if you participate in them. You can learn a lot about life and philosophy through anime because anime does have a lot of like philosophical or esoteric or religious undertones. Is that the right word? Or themes.
Messaging.
Themes. They have themes of philosophy, religion, esoteric, or just overcoming hero's journeys. They have that, but at the end of the day, you could get that in the Bible. But I said it, you could get it in the Bible, but you know, yeah, they all have their own value, but you shouldn't be obsessed with something that's not going to set you apart from everybody else. Same thing with video games, right? Because we're talking about video games. Why the fuck are you buying a brand new game every month? You know, that's your particular hobby, that's fine, but I'm pretty sure they have other hobbies that take up their time. and isn't going to help them as a person.
Well, my thing is, I feel like if you're playing like a game, because back in the day, you when you had a game, you would have to play the fuck out of the game. I would assume, right? So I feel like the way how we interact with art, video games are art.
I think so.
But the problem is that we have like a limited interacting with the game because we have to move on to the next one. I do this too. Like I won't, once I finish like my first take on like a campaign, I won't play like another campaign. But in reality, I probably should just be investing more in that game instead of just moving on to whatever game. But then also that also has created a problem in video games where most games just feel like they're meant to be like one and done. Like the fact that there's like a Xbox Game Pass where you can just like play any game and you just like and it's like a Netflix type service.
Yeah, they almost feel like throwaways.
Yeah, and it's like why should like that's why I should like the idea of buying $90 to play Mario Kart. It doesn't really bother me because like how like I'm gonna play the fuck out of the game. The last Mario Kart lasted for like 10 years. Played the fuck out of that game. So of course, me putting down $90.
Same thing like for me with like GTA 5 or even fucking Red Dead Redemption 2. I replay that game at least 2 times every year.
Yeah.
And you find new things in the game, and I think that's how video games should be treated.
Yeah.
You should have a game that you play the fuck out of for, let's just say, 3 years. Is that a fair amount of time?
I would say just I guess 3 years.
3
just
years,
coming
3
back
years.
here and there.
I mean, why are you playing the fuck out of a game in a week? Come on.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be necessary. Or
Yeah.
that shouldn't be the reality.
Or it shouldn't be so easy at the same time to play
yeah.
a whole game in like a year, unless you're being a pussy and you're playing like easy mode or something like that. And even then, if you're playing easy mode, go back and play hard and play normal.
Go into
mode.
normal, then go into hard,
Yeah.
then go into challenge or whatever, veteran mode or whatever it is.
Because that's what like old games. I think that's what the like what you're glazing about Nintendo. That's what it has. It has that like that arcadey feel. And then the thing with arcade games, where that people like to say that the problem with arcade games were that like, oh, they're hard just because they want you to put in more money into it. But it did have an actual challenge to these games.
And this isn't 1985 where you got to pay 25 cents every fucking time you die.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why kind of games they suck now, because like the people who make games now, they didn't grow up playing arcade games. The ones that played the games that we saw growing up, they played arcade games, and they went from like playing in the arcade to making games for the PS2. So they took that mentality and they brought it to these games. But fucking, I don't know, some like random like soy game. I don't know, like The Last of Us. I don't know, I haven't played it, but I just want to bring it up because it seems soy. They don't have that like arcade feel. They lose out in the arcade, and then the other problem is that they're trying to be fucking movies now.
Yeah, they want to be movies or they want to be. I mean, I know I just glazed Red Dead, but they either want to be movies or they all want to be RPGs in some way.
Yeah. Well, the RPG thing is to circumvent like actual difficulty, because if you can level up to a large amount, then you don't actually have to like experience like hard challenges.
Yeah, but I forgot about that. Like replaying like a game like in hard mode.
Yeah.
Then starting maybe easy or medium, then go from hard to veteran or insane. Like it's funny because the first time I played Super Mario Bros. Wii, I was a fucking kid. It took me like a month to finish it. But as I got older, as I grew older, I started playing it like I would be in World 1, skip to World 5, skip to World I think 7 or 8, and then skip to like the last one, and like I would save all like my fire flower, the ice flower, the penguin. The penguin was probably the best power up that you can use in that game, and basically go from beating the game in a month to being in like fucking 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when we played it, we like played it in like 2 sittings, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and it was funny because like I don't know about you, but when we played that game, it was like it felt like not being retarded for a minute, because whenever I play the game, I'm like, my sisters and shit, they're all fucking stupid. They suck. So it was like when I played with you, I was like, fucking fine, I get to play this game normally. But yeah, That's it. Closing statement. That's what I want to get out of you. Video games are they're not a waste of time, but they should be cherished more. And I think Nintendo is in the right direction. My only fear is that I feel like because when they increase the price and like Sony and Microsoft and shit are gonna be like, well, I guess we can raise the price too. But at the same
Yeah,
time,
because then Bill Gates is gonna take the peg out of his ass and then be like, "Oh, we gotta start charging $80 for
then he's
Halo."
then he's gonna have to hit a dab. Dude, I didn't realize that like the dab was created by the Migos.
Oh yeah,
I didn't. Why? How come black people don't like talk about them or how they created the dab? Basically,
it's because Jake Paul ruined it.